So, guys, a security expert is asking why the Tinubu's government is not arresting these terrorists despite the fact that they are on TikTok. Now, take a look at this, and it says, why are bandits posting on TikTok and we cannot track them? Security experts Dr. Kabir Adamu didn't mix word in this interview. So, guys, he was asking why is the Tinubu's government still wasting time? And he went ahead to say that the office of the NSA is the one in charge. That is Nuhu Ribadu is the one in charge. Don't forget that the DSS also shares a responsibility when it comes to all this. But they don't go for these guys. This is coming after Bayo Onanuga came out to confess that they know the bandits, they know their terrain. Now, take a look at exactly what Bayo Onanuga told Arise TV News today. It says security personnel know all the bandits that operate in that axis. They know where they operate. They cannot apprehend them before an attack due to the risk of collateral damage because the bandits live among civilians. They must act carefully to avoid harming civilians. So, guys, this is what Bayo Onanuga said, confirming that the security personnel that they know who these bandits are. And he also went ahead to say this when he was asked how the Kwara kidnapped victims were released. Bayo Onanuga said DSS and military were involved in the rescue of the 38 worshippers in Eruku, Kwara State. They made contact with the bandits to secure the release of the captives. They made contact. They have the contacts of the bandits and they made contact with these bandits to secure the release of the captives. Security agencies have systems for tracking these criminals, allowing them to monitor developments in real time. They reached out to the kidnappers and demanded the release of the victims, and they complied, aware of the consequences of defying government directives. So, guys, he said they reached out to the bandits. So, guys, this interview reveals a lot about the complicity of the government towards the bandits. They are on TikTok, but if a Nigerian posts a post now on Twitter condemning the Tinubu's government, guess what? The DSS, they will sweep into action. They will pick you up anywhere you are. Recently, somebody tweeted about a coup. The person has been charged to court and possibly might be spending his time now in jail. But look at recently, just yesterday, a video trended where one of the terrorists was saying that Tinubu is going to be kidnapped in few days ahead. Until now, that guy has not been picked up. So, guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video just for you to hear what is happening. Don't forget that El-Rufai himself has come out pointing, accusing finger at Ribadu's office. And also, people are saying Ribadu's office is responsible for the negotiation, the non-kinetic method of negotiating with bandits, despite all the horror they are unleashing on Nigerians. If talking about horror, upon all that have been happening recently, see this headline that just trended now, that is still trending now. It says breaking news: bandits have abducted at least 8 persons, women and girls in Biresawa village of a local government in Kanu State. So, guys, the whole country is in panic. The whole country, people are living in fear. Yesterday, students in Delta State were seen running upon sighting some Fulani men who look so suspicious. That's to tell you the rate at which panic is in the country. Everybody is afraid. Now, so, guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at these videos just for you to know what is happening in the country. Honestly, there is a lot to be told. Don't forget that even the governor of Zamfara State came out to say that they know the terrorists. They know who they are. They know where they live. They know their parents. They know everything about these people. Why is Tinubu not fighting terrorism? What is the covenant Tinubu entered with the North to allow Nigeria to be Islamized? Why is he not standing up? Anyway, Tinubu was captured in a photo during a security meeting with the security chiefs sleeping on duty. That's to tell you how they are playing with human life. So, guys, take your time, watch these videos, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Now, take a look.
Perhaps the update on all of the things we've reeled out is the effrontery with which these bandits now display their act online. Go to TikTok, you see them brag, you see them engage viewers, you see them drop comments. How difficult is it to use that kind of technology? Because
I'm sorry to say it's an indication of the impunity within our security sector. Tracking individuals online in the digital space is extremely easy. First off, every device that they are using has a signature. The platform that they are using has credentials that you can use to track, even if it's not their own and they're using someone else's own. You can create a social web that will allow you to eventually identify who they are. So if it's politically expedient to track them and to arrest them and to try them, it will be done. But I think for some odd reasons at the moment, because of the impunity that exists within the security sector, that is not being done at the moment. I mean, today, the social media, there was a viral post by a young bandit who was, in simple terms, challenging the supremacy of the Nigerian state, its sovereignty, saying some very stupid things, and it went viral. I believe that by now that young man should have been arrested and a lesson taught to his peers who would want to follow him. But because over time we've not done that, I mean, once you pick TikTok, the number of displays you would see, brazen displays by these criminals, is shocking. And sometimes, when I speak to my friends from across the world, they ask the question that where are Nigeria's security organizations? And I must say, it's not as if we lack the presence of security departments. I keep on saying we have up to 42 of them, 29 primary ones, then an additional 14 that are supporting these 29 primary ones. And they have the capacity to track these things. So again, if it's politically expedient and we break that impunity, they will start tracking them and we see a reduction in this brazen criminality that we're seeing today.
In short, you're saying that we should question our security infrastructure as it is currently constituted if we find these bandits online and we can't track them. I'd like us to move...
let me clarify that, Nife.
Yes.
I'm not saying we should question the infrastructure. I believe the infrastructure has enough capability to do it, but it's not the impunity that exists within this sector is stopping that from happening. I'm mindful of the fact that it's a public forum. Recently, a young man posted about a coup in Port Harcourt. How long did it take the security organizations to go after him and track him? Not very long. So they can use the same technology and track these bad guys. It's the same technology that they used in tracking that man that they could have used in tracking these terrible monsters who are doing very dastardly things to our
precisely. Who should we hold responsible for this impunity?
So the structure of the national security enterprise has different elements. They are the coordinating elements. Now, the coordinating elements are the ones that should have a level of responsibility in terms of organizing and managing the activities of the security sector. So that's the first level of responsibility. The various ministers, the national security advisor, and then underneath them you have the tactical and operational heads, the service chiefs, the GOCs, name them. So that's how it goes. But then the beauty of our democracy is that all of these elements are within the executive arm of government. Where we're seeing this type of failure, then the National Assembly should have been putting pressure on the executive arm of government through legislative instruments, their oversight functions through motions, and sometimes even congressional hearings like what we see in the United States. Those are ways that the democratic system of government has allowed the legislature to put pressure on the executive arm. So when you ask me who should, these are the various elements that should be doing it. Unfortunately, in 2025, we're not seeing any of these elements putting that kind of level of accountability on our security sector.
First of all, what can you tell us about how the 38 worshippers at that church in Eruku, Kwara State were rescued?
Well, I think after the incident happened and the DSS and the military were involved in the rescue efforts. I think they got in contact with the bandits to release those people unarmed. And I think finally on Sunday, they were able to get them out unarmed.
So they basically know who they are.
Well,
and, because when you say rescue them, did they actually physically go there and get them out?
The security people, at the risk of revealing how they do their work, they do have a way of tracking these people.
Right.
So they know what's going on at any point in time. What sometimes restrains them from going after them is the risk of collateral damage.
Of course.
They go about abducting our people and they use them as shield so that they will not be attacked. So they don't just want to be attacking them, they need to be sure that they are not using our people as a kind of a shield.
But if the government did not attack them in order to rescue these people, how did they get them released? Because I mean, it seems almost...
they got in contact with them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
it seems almost perverse for the people to abduct people and then a few days later
they
release them.
They have a way of contacting them.
You mean they pay
Because
them money?
not paying them. They know the risk. If they keep those people with them and they're saying release them, they know that the next thing will be for the government to embark on a kinetic action and attack their base.
Yeah, but they killed people.
But that's risky.
Church.
But that's risky.
That makes
if
them
you attack their
criminals.
base, you can kill those
No, I
victims.
understand that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what people are curious to know, because it is not the government who are directly under threat, it's the people. And the people have to know how you go about doing these things in order to shore up their own defense.
I think that's left for the security people to discover. What I know is that they contacted them to release those they have abducted.
And they just acquiesced, did they?
Because they know the consequence of not acquiescing to a government demand, that they should release, let those people go, so that, because they know that the consequence is that the government will come and pummel them.
But does that mean that some kind of a deal was done then to say, because I mean those people killed people, so technically they are, I mean, they should be arrested, tried and prosecuted and face the full wrath of the law.
The first thing that government has to do is to get those people freed.
Right.
And government has achieved its objective. As for the next level of action, it's left for the security people to take. I don't want to second guess them. They know what they have to do. They've taken the precaution to make sure that at least they retrieve those people from there. That's the first thing. So the next line of action is left with, I don't want to be talking about.
And that is all
issues.
the people who were abducted?
All of them.
You can ask 3 service chiefs that served in Kaduna under my watch. One of them is still alive. Farouk Yahya was chief of army staff. He was GOC in Kaduna. I saw him yesterday at a wedding. You can call him, bring him to this program and ask him what we did. What I will not do, okay, is to pay bandits, give them monthly allowance, or send food to them in the name of non-kinetic. It's nonsense. We are empowering bandits. It's not the government of Kaduna State. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Chase the bandits. That's the new policy. My position has always been the only repentant bandit is a dead one. Let's kill them all. Let's wipe them. Let's bomb them until they are reduced to nothing. And then the 5% that still want to be rehabilitated can be rehabilitated. You do not negotiate from a position of weakness. You don't empower your enemy. You don't give him money to go and buy more sophisticated weapons. That's why the insecurity problem has not gone away and will not go away as long as this policy continues.
If you
they can deceive, they can cover up, they can do propaganda, but those that live in Katsina, those that live in Zamfara, those that live in Kaduna, those that live in those states, they know what is happening.
Well, is that the reason why perhaps you think that there's a slowdown in the attack on schools and kidnaps that we've seen in Kaduna? The quiet we see in the Benegwari
there is no slowdown.
Kaduna,
I was governor for 8 years. I was governor of Kaduna State for 8 years. Only 3 schools were attacked in 8 years. Okay? This government has been around for 2 years. 3 schools have been attacked. And they paid the bandits. They paid them ₦1 billion the first time the school was attacked and students abducted. They are paying bandits. They are apologizing to them. They are
finding this information about ₦1 billion being paid.
Look, let the governor or anyone come and deny. We have the evidence. When the time comes, we'll reveal everything. They are paying bandits. They are empowering bandits. This is what this government is doing.
And you think that will not work?
It will not work. It has never worked anywhere.
I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zamfara, have never been there, And we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is something that we are trying to all put our heads together. That is why, from what I can do as a governor, to have this CPG as a first line of defense. Of course, military are there, police are there, as well as civil defense, but they are not under my control. They are under the control of federal government.
All of the issues that are going on today are not 1/10 of what happened under the Jonathan administration, where the same President Tinubu called for his resignation. He said the buck stops at the president table. This calls him to question the capacity of Jonathan to govern or to protect the lives of citizens. Look at President Tinubu. We thought immediately he took power, he would teach Jonathan how it should be done. This is where we are today, where the governor of the home state of the vice president is declaring prayer and fasting for terrorists. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum, having spent billions in servicing terrorists and in trying to see how they can get peace deals. In 2025, the governor of a state is declaring fasting and prayer. Maybe they should also involve NSPPD. They can also involve any other the experience. They can also attend to see how they can get people, you know, to handle this issue of insecurity.
You're
Since
right,
it is more spiritual than we think.
Does not exist.
Because part of the problem will be even the National Office of the National Security Advisor. For the first time in a country, it seems like the president outsourced issues of insecurity to the Office of National Security Advisor, and the president is more interested in politicking. I'm wondering why a state of emergency was declared in Rivers State, and up till today there is no state of emergency in any part of the north. And what qualifies this person to be Minister for Defense? This person we call Minister for Defense, Minister for State Defense. Bello Matawale, he's the former governor of Zamfara State. The Minister for Defense is Mohammed Abubakar Badaru, the former governor of Jigawa State. What in their backgrounds give them the capacity to lead these ministries, especially at a time like this? I mean, this particular person who is, you know, Minister for State Defense had his state almost overrun by terrorists as a governor. It was part of why he failed hopelessly in being re-elected into the state house as a governor. And the president shopped around. And when you ask, they will say, oh, they have had ministers of defense who were military persons, but it did not make a difference. Then the question will be, so if you have tried many doctors and it did not work, so you should probably employ a carpenter. So that is where Nigeria is. So if you look at the body language of the president, the question will be, does the president understand the implication of security to the well-being of the nation? That is the primary responsibility of every government to protect life and property. Look at the kind of security and the kind of pomp and circumstance that a minister of defense, who is going to a state where children were abducted. This is what our public office. So we spend money, government will create a problem, pretend to be solving the problem, and in that pretense in solving the problem, even use more of taxpayer money for their own good. So across board, it is just a show of recklessness and irresponsibility. And the painful part or the unfortunate part is Nigerians or innocent lives are paying for these decisions or inactions. The National Assembly is the institution that has the principal right to oversight. But unfortunately, the current 10th National Assembly has been converted into an APC town hall, where you see when the president goes to present his budget, the person who leads the chant upon their mandate they shall fall is the Senate leadership. So you see an institution that is supposed to, when the Senate president came at first, he was brandishing the cap that carried the insignia of the president, the executive arm of government. It was when there was public outcry, they had to pretend to take it out. And when the president came and guess what was the president's response? You all are re-elected. That was what the president said. A group of persons who have a country that is in extreme and multi-dimensional poverty, where sovereignty is shared between commander-in-chief and terrorists. And you see lawmakers sitting down, interested in more of partying. If this government has invested the time they used in politicking, trying to put every governor or politician into turning Nigeria to a one-party state, if the president and the government invested half of that time into security, they would have done better. What is that? The only capacity this National Assembly have is to be a money point assembly, to approve loans without inquiry, approve loans without any commensurate investigation. I think the only place that National Assembly have not approved loans for this government is money point and PAMPI. You know, because those, you know, when they borrow from, you know, like you borrow from fair money, you clear Kuda. That is what they have the capacity to do. And it's unfortunate. If Nigerians want anything to change, it must become a citizens' movement and a citizen demand. Nigerians, this is an opportunity for everybody that is well-meaning to come together and mobilize. First of all, to know that we need to put pressure to solve the current issue. And by 2027, to liberate ourselves. Because as it is today now, the APC is not just bad government, it is an affliction.
They haven't been able to capture one terrorist or capture any bandit leaders. They hold meetings with them. One bandit in Katsina killed an assistant commissioner of police and put on his uniform to come for dialogue in Katsina. He did not even discard the uniform. After killing him, took his gun, he wore that uniform with the epaulets in place, with the rank in place, and came to Katsina for an open meeting in the uniform of an assistant commissioner of police that he murdered. And you say you have government in Nigeria. So that's why we call for a revolution.
Well, I think after the incident happened and the DSS and the military were involved in the rescue efforts. I think they got in contact with the bandits to release those people unarmed. And I think finally on Sunday, they were able to get them out unarmed.
So they basically know who they are.
Well,
and, because when you say rescue them, did they actually physically go there and get them out?
The security people, they, well, at the risk of revealing how they do their work, they do have a way of tracking these people.
Right.
So they know what's going on at any point in time. What sometimes restrains them from going after them is the risk of collateral damage.
Of course.
You know, they go about abducting our people and they use them as shield so that they will not be attacked. So they don't just want to be attacking them, they need to be sure that they are not using our people as a kind of a shield.
But if the government did not attack them in order to rescue these people, how did they get them released? Because I mean, it seems almost...
They got in contact with them?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it seems almost perverse for the people to abduct people and then a few days later release them.
They have a way of contacting them.
You mean they paid them money?
Not paying them. They know the risk. If they keep those people with them and they're saying release them, they know that the next thing will be for the government to embark on a kinetic action and attack their base.
Yeah, but they killed people.
But that's risky.
That makes
if
them
you attack their
criminals.
base, you can kill those.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what people are curious to know, because it is not the government who are directly under threat, it's the people. And the people have to know how you go about doing these things in order to shore up their own defense. I
think that's left for the security people to discover. What I know is that they contacted them to release those they have.
And they just acquiesced, did they?
Because they know the consequence of not acquiescing to government demand, that they should release, let those people go, so that, because they know that the consequence is that the government will come and pummel them.
But does that mean that some kind of a deal was done then to say, because I mean those people killed people, so technically they are, I mean, they should be arrested, tried and prosecuted and face the full wrath of the law.
The first thing that government has to do is to get those people freed.
Right.
And government has achieved its objective. As for the next level of action, it's left for the security people to take. I don't want to second guess them. They know what they have to do. They've taken the precaution to make sure that at least they retrieve those people from there. That's the first thing. So the next line of action is left with, I don't want to be talking about.
And that is all the people who were abducted?
All of them.
Right. All 38 of them. Right. Okay, let's move on from there. What do you know for certain about what happened at that Catholic boarding school in Niger State on Friday? And is there now certainty about the number of people who were kidnapped and the number who have escaped?
Well, the 51 people or students who the the CAN chairman in Niger said had been, I use the word recovered. They were not captured by anybody. I learned when the bandits came in the night, the students were running helter and skelter, and some of them just nearly ran back to their homes and to go to their parents. So when they first gave the figure of 200, they nearly said 215. Later they said 315, and then later they now say, oh, they've seen 51. They say 50, but the figure we go is that they have 51 of them, have been reunited with their parents and so on. As for the movement, up to now, the authorities, they are in the dark as to how many people are really missing. The Niger State government or governor asked for the list of students that are missing. Up to now, I don't know what kind of game that the Khan bishop or the Khan chairman in Niger is playing. They are not collaborating with the government. I don't know why they are doing that.
Well, that's inexcusable, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why they are doing that. Even the security men, they don't know why they are doing that. Why they are not releasing the names. They want to know how many people are really missing. But as of now, nobody really knows, because the Khan bishop, I will keep calling bishop, he was a bishop, but the Khan chairman in Niger actually told the principal of that school not to talk to the security people. So that is what is happening in Niger. In fact, today, if you read the paper, the governor was saying that nobody is sure what's really happening in that place. And that as of now, it's all speculation that students are missing. Because I said they are not releasing the figure. They are not releasing the names of the people, that the students that are missing.
Well, I think that might be taking it a stretch too far to suggest that there aren't any children missing. I mean, you said it's speculation.
No. What I'm saying, I didn't say, I said the governor, I was quoting the governor saying that because the school, I said, is not collaborating, it's not helping the government. You said students are missing, let's have their names. You have the register, let us have their names, let's know what we are looking for. As of now, I said there's the Khan chairman of Niger is not helping government, it's not helping the security.
Could that be because the government came out firing at them at the outset? Because, I mean, the government said they had told them to close the school and they failed to do that.
Most kidnappings that happen in our country, the DSS normally gets intelligence and they warn that XYZ could happen. That's what happened in the case of Maga in Kebbi. They had intelligence that these people could hit the school. And in fairness to the governor of the state, he called a security meeting and it was agreed that soldiers should deploy to that state, to the school. They went there, but mysteriously, as the governor also found out, at 4 a.m. on Monday, they left the school. And just some minutes after, the bandits stormed the school and took away the children. So the governor, as I said, I'm quoting the governor, he suspected some sabotage. That who was the person who asked the soldiers to leave the school?
But the president must have been briefed on that.
Yeah, of course, the president has been briefed. And I can assure you that even the military authorities are probing what really went wrong.
And there will be consequences.
They've already arrested all of them.
Right.
They've arrested all of them. They need to explain why did they leave the school at that moment in time.
And reporters who are there in Niger State, adding to the point that you're making, say they've spoken to the parents of many of the children who've been abducted, and none of them have confirmed being reunited with their children, the ones who've supposedly escaped. So there seems to be a lot of confusion and uncertainty still.
You see, the school and the Khan of Niger, they need to come clean about some of these things. The government wants to help, but you are trying to keep information away from government. What for?
Yeah, but what is
the agenda of Khan?
In those circumstances, the government has a right to forcibly get that information out of them, doesn't it?
What alarm was this? The governor of the state, the government, let me say the government of the state, when they had intelligence that they were going to attack schools in the state, they told school proprietors to shut down schools. But this school, they don't shut down. And this didn't happen. According to what I learned from the security briefing that Mr. President had, the school was not saying they didn't send them a memo, a written memo that they shut down the school. What kind of thing is that? The authority can give a verbal instruction.
Of course.
It's an emergency.
In such a situation.
Yeah, can give, but they're saying they didn't have any written memo to close down the school. But some of the schools shut down on the basis of what government told them to do. So,
and this is,
as I said, the issue in Niger is for the Khan. I don't know, as I said, I don't know why they are playing the game they are playing. Let them collaborate with the DSS, with the military authorities, with the government of Niger State, reveal to them, give them the list of the students that are missing. Let them know, oh, okay, we have 100 students, we have 200 students that are missing, so they can know what to do next. But everybody's in the dark.
Well, they've given interviews, both, I mean, internationally and everywhere, basically giving the figures and the numbers. They've talked to a lot of reporters.
In Kebbi, that was a list. When the incident happened, the military people produce a list of the missing students. They know who they're looking for. But in the case of Niger, I said, the CAN, I don't know the game the CAN is playing, the CAN of Niger, I'm not saying CAN nationally, yes. The CAN of Niger and the school, the game they are playing. Let them help the authorities, let them help.
But surely the authorities have the right and the responsibility in a situation of criminality that has taken place.
I just told you that.
I mean, to get the information, to extract that information.
The DSS went to the school. The principal has disappeared.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, the principal has disappeared. So only the CAN chairman who speaks for the state has been speaking.
That is really quite bizarre.
So it's, for the security, they find it very strange, really, that they are not cooperating. Why are they not cooperating? What is the agenda? Do they want to use it to lure Mr. Trump to come and bomb Nigeria or something like that?
And this is, of course, one of the largest mass abductions of students in this country. And I mean, listening to you talk, I imagine it is of great concern and sorrow for you. We've heard that people who've taken these students are likely to be bandits who are likely to ask for a ransom payment. Has any such ransom demand been received?
As far as I know, no.
And no indication of who they are?
Well, I said the security people, they know all the bandits that operate in that axis. They know them. They know them. So
what about their location? Is that known as well?
They know. I don't want to be talking about the way they do their work, but I said they know all the gangsters operating along that route.
So why can't they destroy them before they go and attack these places? I don't understand why they have to come and wait.
Collateral damage. Look, our people are living around where they operate. So you can't just go there. Look, something happened some years ago in I think Borno State. Ran. Even in somewhere, I think Sokoto or so, when the military thought they had the right satellite connection or something, and they went to bomb somewhere, only to find out.
Yes, we heard
they bombed the wrong people.
Yeah.
And they need to be very careful that in the course of chasing these bandits, you don't go and bomb innocent Nigeria.
Yeah, but you just said they know where they are.
I said no. They know where they operate. They know where they operate.
Right. So basically, you don't really have a clue at this stage, and I mean you, not you in particular, but the government in general, about how to deal with this. I mean, that's the way it sounds.
Government has a clue. I said, in the case of Niger, let the school authorities, let them even tell the security people, these are the people missing. So they know they have a picture of what the problem they really want to deal with.
Yeah, but you have a picture. I mean, everybody knows that according to the school...
According to the CAN chairman, they said,
more than 300
give us
people
the names. Give us the names. They don't want to give us the names. Why? What are they hiding?
Yeah, but what about the people who've been reported to have escaped? I mean,
they didn't escape.
No, what I mean
they didn't escape from the bandits.
Who hid away
they
from
were not, them. Nobody took them away.
Right, okay.
They ran the escalator and they ran to their parents.
Right, okay. The president says he's approved the redeployment of police from VIPs to the protection of sort of threatened sites. Do you know where they're being sent to, those police that have been...
it's a matter of details for the police authority to work out. What the president was concerned with is basically that in many... let me give you an example. One day we traveled from Kanu to Dutse. Kanu to Dutse. About 2 hours on the very good road. Along that stretch, we only saw one police vehicle. One police vehicle. So it means from Kano to Dutse, once you leave Kano and you are facing Dutse, most of the areas there are ungoverned. So no security presence, no police, nothing.
Well, the reason I'm asking you that is because, I mean, I'm wondering where they're being sent to, because we're hearing from people...
Many of our, like Eruku, when that incident happened, how many policemen were in Eruku? I think I landed either 3 or 4. So they could do nothing.
Yeah.
Either 3 or 4. So with 3, in fact, and I landed, they had, out of the 3 or 4, they had only 1 rifle.
That is bizarre. But that's also, that's a problem of the government.
It's a real problem. So whereas you have our policemen, including anti-riot policemen or something, protecting big men in Nigeria, and they are fully armed. Why can't you send them?
Yeah, but you're saying this as though you're suddenly realizing that this is what has been going on. I mean, it's been going on for a long time.
Because, if you want to fight all these crimes, you really need to have number. And we have number. We have policemen, not even enough, but we have number. Let's even deploy them to areas, vulnerable areas where they are most needed. And that's what government is doing. So we have policemen. I read a paper today that said about 100,000 policemen are guarding VIPs. 100,000, that will make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
If you share them out to vulnerable areas.
Indeed.
Along that axis of Northwest, if you send them there, they will really help.
Absolutely, because we're actually hearing from people in that Papiri community in Niger State, where these abductions took place, that security is still non-existent there. I mean, there are no checkpoints or any evidence of heightened security in that area. We've talked to reporters who are there. We're sending our own reporters there. And the expectation is that following such an attack, there'd be security personnel all over the place, gathering evidence, talking to people, but apparently this hasn't happened. And we're also hearing that the government, both federal and state, have not visited that area. I mean, why is that?
Well, I'm aware that the Niger people have been there.
They said they went to a neighboring community. They didn't go to that specific community.
Even the DSS sent, I said they went there, they went to the school. The DSS went to the school. They went to the school, they visited the place. The military went to the school, they visited the place.
Why are they... I mean, we're hearing of new abductions. ISWAP apparently abducted around a dozen female farmers in Borno State.
Let me say something about security generally.
I mean, why is it such a challenge for the government and the security forces?
Let me say something about security. Yeah. Some of the things that the president is thinking about to tell Nigerians. If you read the National Defense Policy, whatever they call it, security is the job of all Nigerians, all of us. So, if 12 teenagers are going to the farm to harvest, I think they should tell the JTF or something that they are going, you know, these people will not come and capture one person. They want number. So if you are more than one or two, you are going somewhere, let the security know that you are going somewhere. So they can give you protection. Not just go there and then you become a sitting duck and somebody will just come and say, hey, all of you, yeah, follow me. Everybody should be conscious of security in this country. Everybody, all of us. Even at our individual level, me, where I stay in Lagos, I'm very conscious of security. I know that I need to protect myself, and I make sure that I do everything possible to make sure that if you want to attack me, you will need to sweat. You need to break so many things to get to where I live. So people should take it seriously. Everybody, it's not the job of
people in remote areas.
It's not the job of Tinubu alone. It's the responsibility of all Nigerians. We need to take our security very, very
Indeed,
seriously.
But it is the primary responsibility of the government.
And I was saying,
that's the whole constitutional reason why they're there.
Why would 12 teenagers go to the farm and just leave their security in the hands of nature?
Well, let me read you this from the Catholic Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja, John Cardinal Onayokan. He was speaking on Arise News at the weekend, and I'm paraphrasing him. He says, and he's talking about your government, you fought for our votes with promises. You say we voted for you, so now do the work. Keep us safe. You have all the money of Nigeria at your disposal. Instead of always defending yourselves that there is nothing particularly wrong in Nigeria and that there is nothing taking place here that isn't happening in other countries, the government should tell the truth and agree that things are not good, because all the denials aren't helping this country at all and are not reflecting the mood of the millions of Nigerians who are living in constant fear and anxiety, not to talk of the millions who have suffered from insurgents, bandits and violent criminals. Whether they are Muslims or Christians is another matter, but nobody can dispute the fact that Nigerians are being killed. What's your reaction to that?
Of course, this government has never denied that Nigerians are being killed. This government is very much concerned about the killings going on, well, not in all parts of the country, in some parts of the country. And as I said, the government has been doing whatever is possible to stem all these killings. It's not the government is not concerned. Anybody who says government is not concerned is not saying the truth.
Yeah, but you see, you're always very moderate in your assessment and the way you communicate. But there are people in your government who are in pole position and are not agreeing, are constantly denying that there is a problem. I'll give you one example. The same cardinal was talking about how the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, came to the bishops' conference recently and was telling them how everything is now okay in Nigeria with security and all the rest, and nothing could be further. And we've heard him on television making these very loud, very sort of, huge sort of pronouncements of how things have been, they've crushed the terrorists and all the rest of it. And nothing could be further from the truth. And these bishops were wondering, what Nigeria is this man talking about? What planet is he on? Because surely it ain't planet Earth.
Well, what has happened so far as, I think even for the NSA, we forced him to do a reality check. are things really, is Nigeria really having a good everywhere? No, it's clear that we still have problems. You know, this war about banditry or terrorism is, you know, it's an asymmetric war. We are dealing with people who don't follow convention. They do things. They want to embarrass you as much as possible. They want to bomb soft targets. That's why they go to schools and capture our children. They want to anywhere that is open. They just want to go there and make sure do maximum damage, maximum embarrassment to the military and police authorities, that they can cause anything that will embarrass, that will reverberate all over the place, and people say, oh, there are problems in Nigeria. I said, this government has never said, I know that since all these things blew open, nobody has said, I know all those people have been speaking of government have been saying, we have problems. We know that we have problems. Even the president said it, that we have problems. We know we have been having problems of killings and so on, but we are making efforts to ensure that we stem all these things. And government is really, I say, truly making efforts.
Is the president going to talk to Nigerians about it? I mean, we've heard they've concluded discussions with the Americans in America. Are we going to be told, I mean, is the president going to address the nation and say what is going on?
I think we'll do so very soon.
So guys, Nigeria is a drama scene. Every day we hear of new drama. So you've heard what is happening after Bayo Onanuga came out to say that, you know, the security chiefs engaged, or the military and the DSS were the ones that went to negotiate. They are not calling Gumi now. We don't know the role Gumi played in all this. But he's saying the military and the DSS were the ones that went and, you know, spoke to these bandits. So guys, the question remains, so they know where these bandits are. They know where these bandits are. Nigerians say they know where these bandits are. It's unbelievable. I'm just like short of words. I'm short of words. Sometimes when you look at what's happening in this Nigeria, you begin to ask, how did we get here? I mean, how did we get here that people don't even care? You know, people don't care. Nigerians are dying and the people in charge, none of them is being prosecuted. None of them is being dragged. None of them is meant to face the law, because they are from the north. So when people tell you that the north runs Nigeria, this is just a typical example. I'm just worried as to why the Tinubu government is so silent, because it has to do with the northerners. You can imagine if all this kidnap was to be going on in the north by now, Operation Python Dance, Operation this one, Operation that one, that led to the death of so many people during the time of Buhari. You know, just the little IPOB was what made Buhari to take down the Kanu jets, fighter jet they bought from the US, and other military equipment that we're not supposed to use in such an environment. They left Zambia to the east and quite so many young people. So guys, the Igbo land is still bleeding after the civil war. But see the menace of these Fulani headsmen and nobody is talking. Anyway, let's see how this news goes. There is a breaking news here that says the federal government has banned open grazing by cattle rearers as part of effort to cut the persistent farmer herders conflict across the nation. So let's see how this is going to go. Tinubu is banning these herders. Now let's see if Trump's pressure on them is working. They have to disband them. You know, they have to disband them. The US said disband them. Carrying of arms is against the constitution of Nigeria, and we want to see action, not just banning open grazing like the one that happened under Buhari. Under Buhari, many state governors signed the anti-grazing or anti-open grazing law into bill into law. But guess what? The Fulani is dead. Everybody to his face saying it cannot work by word of mouth or no action. This person is saying that they are banning it in words. They can't try it. It's just for the news. Yariba, including their leaders, are Fulani puppets. It's just like saying bail is free, but don't pay, and let's see how you will leave the police station. So it's just for the news. They are not serious, honestly. They just want to see America applauding them that they are working. But is this really for Nigerians? This person here, there's no farmer header conflict in Nigeria. Fulani headsmen are full-blown Islamic jihadis, and there's no farmer header. Okay, yes, there's no farmer header conflict in Nigeria. Fulani headsmen are full-blown Islamic jihadis and terrorists. They just want to take over territory. Yesterday, there was this lady that posted a video. She went to a community. She said a few years ago, this community was 100% Christian. Now, all the people have been driven away. The Fulanis are now the one living there. They've renamed the community. They've taken it over. I'm just wondering. So the owners of these communities, they must have moved to another community, or well, they are in the IDP camp. So guys, a whole lot is happening. This person, does this mean farmers can do whatever they like to another head that they see on their farmland? I mean, the Tinubu government should explain this better. This policy marks a decisive intervention in one Nigeria's most intractable socio-economic conflict. By banning open grazing, the federal government is asserting state authority over land use and attempting to recalibrate the balance between agricultural stakeholders, addressing decades of tension, violence, and disruption caused by clashes between farmer headers. Beyond immediate security consideration, the ban signals a push towards modernizing livestock and management, encouraging ranching and controlling grazing systems that could enhance productivity, reduce conflict, and promote sustainable land use. Yet, implementation will require robust regulatory framework, support for pastoralists, and conflict-sensitive enforcement to prevent unintended economic and social fallout. This move is both a strategic gamble and necessary step toward long-term national stability. This person wrote a very long piece. Let's see how it goes on that. But this person, good call. Don't then take over people's land to give to the terrorists. All cows found in the wild should be converted to suya. Enforcement is compulsory, not lip service and paper tiger. And this way, the policy launches a National Council on Livestock Development and plan to rehabilitate 417 grazing reserves, shifting from nomadic herding to ranching to boost food security and reduce violence. While I think this is a very good idea, I just wish these ranches would concentrate where it is wanted, needed, and tolerated. However, with no penalties for non-compliance announced, how will this be enforced? So the Tinubu's government should just come and tell us that they are banning open grazing. How is the enforcement going to look like? This person, how many times would they ban open grazing? The devil is in the implementation. This person, low, mere pronouncement means nothing to their real wives, Then no to send federal government pronouncement like that. Remember Wike threatened to stop them from roaming Abuja when he came in, and his tone changed later. Nothing will happen. Difficult as it sounds, they own Nigeria. So guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. A pastor's friend was kidnapped by Fulani herdsmen last year while he was returning from the night program here in the East. It was deeply traumatic for his wife and family. We all came together to see that nothing evil happened to him. We prayed earnestly and they spared his life, and we ended up paying 1 million naira before he could be released. Within 24 hours, he was out of their den. I'm writing this to let you all know that the demon of insurgency and kidnapping is real, and stay alert as we pray, and we have to stay alert as we pray to God, as we pray that God purges our land from these jihadist devils who use ransom money to stock up weapon as they seek to overthrow the land. Thank God for banning open grazing. So it is now they know what to do. These are leaders, are our enemies truly. What stopped them from doing this long before now? And then this one said this is a step in the right direction. Banning open grazing isn't just policy. It's a lifeline for farmers, a shield for communities, and a signal that government can take decisive action to protect Nigerians from avoidable conflicts. So guys, these are Nigerians speaking. Let me know your thoughts. Tinubu has banned open grazing, but they didn't tell us the way they are going to enforce the rule so that these Fulanis will obey. Is it shoot on sight when you see any Fulani, or confiscate their cows, or what? Let's wait to see more detail on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.